Hello, welcome or welcome back. This is going to be, of course, the Daily Dharma number 2, as you see on the title. And so this is a to be continued from the Daily Dharma 1 with the same name. So you can find that, of course, in the library of my work here with the same date, if you're looking for that. And I'll try to link that below for those that want to check that out. So over the last few days, we've been getting a couple of cards from the Return of Spirit deck. In particular, this feline one, it reminds me quite a bit of Lyran type energies, and what I didn't know about them, I tried to look up just briefly. Of course, I only looked at one person's site, and I don't mean to sound jaded or doubting, but some of the sites, they all say kind of the similar thing for everybody who's going through their awakening process. So whether or not you identify with the with that star system or not, try to just take this as some of the guides looking to step forward for yourself right now. So I don't want to cover everything that has already been covered, but I was really noticing how I'm sensing a shift in for whatever reason, I'm sensing that the viewer is showing up here in most of the cards that are depicting yourself as the masculine self. So perhaps you are very active, engaged, assertive, confident, in touch with your magnetism, charisma, your passion, your creative spark, and a general sense of being a passionate individual. And it seems that there's a change, whether this is a change of life or a shift that you are recommitting to. It seems to be coming in as a recommitment to spirit and to spiritual discipline. We've got those two, and let me show those one more time. These feminine guides here coming in, like there's some feminine Lyran guides showing up here, and that's these two that I'm seeing. And I don't want to butcher it, so I'm not going to talk as though I understand the Lyran traits, but there's something on this website talking about somebody who's kind of in that way, that fiery capacity, interested in adventure as well as in history. And history came up in the previous reading, like being drawn to people that really incarnated here that we might not assume were like an ascended master, not like a Shiva or a Jesus that has been some kind of religious icon either. It's something that came through as historical, and I saw that in there and thought that was interesting. As well as the overseeing card here is delight, and is said on there that part of their pursuit was to engage the senses and the idea of enjoyment of life, as well as the creation of joy on earth. And the delight card is here. As well, we had the good luck card yesterday, which was talking about us being someone who brings good luck and optimism and faith to others. So then we had also in the center we had the prayerful feminine praying for this union or re-engagement with her passionate self. Something about Beltane, the wheel of the year. I see something about Beltane, some type of a meeting of various individuals, heightening the attendance of the energies that we all walk with, if you catch my drift. So when we meet up with people in the physical that are also tuned in, tapped in, and turned on, as Abraham Hicks channel will talk about, it's like they each are activating various personas and various spiritual essence through different characterizations of energetics. And so I'm sensing that with this convergence that came through with the celestial card, it's like the opportunities to engage with like-minded individuals. And even if we don't engage with a ton of people on the one-to-one basis, just being in the same space can really create this convergence of extremely activated energies and create an additional activation just by being in their presence. So in that central card, we also get this Emperor here pondering and kind of like, hey, taking you in. And it did say something about, excuse the noise while we're in the hoop house. I hope you enjoy. This is my new baby coming together out here. I'll talk more about that and plug the other channel that's going to be coming online pretty soon, Wispy Willow Homestead. And so this is a type of like a pagan grounded masculine earthiness here that comes forward with this Wheel of the Year and dragon. It's like this is the year of the dragon, so it's like time for us to meet at this festival or this concert or this production somehow, or even an online platform. It's time for communities to become engaged with each other. And so then this reading, we're going to be clarifying this starseed card a little bit further. I didn't show you the celestial one. So in the center, this is that convergence where the meeting of the above and the below and the within and without becomes as the universe, so the soul. That time of recommitment to spirit and reactivation of everything we're here to do, a re-inspiration. And so now we get to this is the starseed card of mission for me right now. It's like this oceanic energy from the cosmos coming in and downloading into the individual or into a location, for instance, like the vortex energies that are known to be located in different areas around the world. Perhaps groups of individuals charging the ley lines or working with geomagnetic storms and ley line charged energy lines where there's been stress and trauma, and assisting the transmutation process here on Mother Earth and really pushing that energy forward. So I sense that there's going to be more, hallelujah, there's going to be more gatherings coming online. I would wager a guess that many individuals are already looking around and trying to find platforms and guest lists and to schedule their venues at specific locations. And attending something like that, if you're drawn to it, may be highly beneficial. I mean, I've dreamt of that, but I'm nowhere near ready for that at this time. But if this is something that is part of your mission, attending one or committing to spirit that you want to hold and host in the future, because sometimes the visions that are downloaded, we aren't meant to do them today. We are meant to receive the vision so that we can ideate and take the steps and co-create with spirit in the changing essence of how things move and flow here, the ebb and flow, and to then create that space, to hold that space, to create and charge and ascend the collective in some type of a way. So let's hear more about this vision here through these cards. So we didn't get a chance to clarify these cards, but look at the masculine energy popping out here after that. The Emperor light card, that reminds me, I didn't quite complete that thought. The Emperor, we were talking about authority and how we can sometimes have issues with authority, especially as starseeds, because the hierarchy doesn't necessarily happen in the same way, because old souls come in believing that, and often understanding and knowing things that other individuals just don't understand, and we can't explain them to them, such as the use of extreme discipline and dominance and control and power those more gentle, pleasure-loving, and delightful inducing optimism lovers that we're talking to and with today, and in this plot here, is like understanding the way that it could be and what would be evidenced from there. And so with these masculine stepping forward, it's like, I think that we've had our time with our issues with earthly authorities. And I mean, at first, I do see somebody who could potentially be a boss, an owner of a business, taking you in from afar. Somebody who perhaps, look at, he has a cat here at his side. He's got that cougar. I don't know if he's interested in an older feminine or something, but with that cougar energy, it's like the bobcat lives amongst the mountains, the treacherous terrain, and loves things like perhaps rock climbing or in some type of a way. But yeah, there's this attention here, and there's an attraction because we do have that lover thing here going on, and perhaps this is a past life connection. But so let's get into these masculine cards over here. Let's pull this one out first. Actually, I want to take that back. The way that they showed themselves was first this one, very earthly. So this 4 card, this is also somebody who is taking you in, perhaps, or connecting. This individual looks like somebody who is an athlete, somebody who's connected to the earth, could be a Taurus with those horns coming forward. There's something else here. It's like the forest nymphs, somebody who operates more with the fairy realm. And then we have the secondary card showing itself, another 4, which to me the Emperor card is very 4 because the traditional tarot, it's the 4 card. And then we have this individual, much more analytical, more Atlantean energies here coming forward, which may also be related to Lyran type information, somebody who's more of the boho type, steampunk variety, if you will. And both of those individuals showing up as trying to get away. Yeah, somebody who's into maybe ancient alchemy, time and space, astral travel. This is reminding me of many different individuals I've met along my spiritual travels. And yeah, I really have a lot of respect for this individual. And I understand that they may be a little bit more on the rigid aspect of their expression when compared to somebody so physically at ease, such as this individual. This individual would be more earthly based, more connected with their sensuality, and this individual would be more perhaps aware of their health and their mind, body, spirit connection than the other person. It would just be part of their practice. And then our third individual, number 14, coming through. And look at this individual. So this one really comes through with a lot of power. And it's got that dragon energy on it again, but also that amphibian type, watery energy. It's like seahorse energy, as well as, what am I seeing here? That otherworldly. Oh, and the pronounced eyebrows was something from that as well. But it's very priestess energy. It's perhaps a masculine who's very in tune with his feminine energy. We've got the mark of Poseidon on the third eye, and the triple goddess energy here with the Maiden Mother crone depiction. That's incredible. Yeah, so it could be a water sign in that regard with that watery energy. So we've got earth, air, water on those cards, and the major arcana of the masculine coming through here. And I'm feeling that there's more to those individuals, but I don't really want to get into the book right now. I would like to do just a little clarification. I wonder... Yes, I'm going to get into the shamanic deck here. So this is a blended deck. Let's first clarify our more earthly friend, the Four of Earth. He's bleeding from his bicep, so he's somebody who may engage in something such as a combative sport or hand-to-hand type. Hand-eye coordination. Could be somebody who does a job like that. First breath, beginner's mind coming out here. It's reminding me of that, reminding me in the moment here of one of the Tao Te Ching messages that came up the other day about when the child wants to be like the master carpenter and picks up the master carpenter's tools. The first time you do so, chances are you'll get caught, or excuse me, chances are you'll get cut. But maybe somebody's getting caught at something that they're doing or witnessing, or it's catching someone's eye, it's sparking somebody's interest. Maybe this is stuff that you are new to, this starseed Lyrian stuff like myself. It's but it's something very cosmic. I mean, talking about that convergence and then that download, look at all of that astral cosmic astrology information coming through. And she's holding, is that Mercury or the Sun? It's got to be Mercury based on the size, or Mars or Venus. I wish I knew a little bit more. So Mars would be red, Mercury would be silver. So this has got to be Venus that she has in her one hand. But she seems to have her own mask here, and she seems to have magic to relay between all of these different guides, and it's like she's got that cosmic aspect. And the sacrifice coming up with this split energy here. It's like she's taking in the energy from the ethers with this butterfly, the storms of life, the energetic codes, and she's basking in this energy, and it's assisting her. She's got these wings coming off of the face now, just like we had in the card over here. And it's also like these individuals are so much larger than Earth. Oh, that's what it is. Check it out. I love it when the connection is made. Thank you, Spirit. Look at how she's holding that butterfly. Look at how she's holding us. This Venusian, she seems to be holding the feminine within either the masculine or the feminine gender polarity. She's coming in and assisting with the convergence and the merging of her knowledge and your own to assist in our understanding of where we need to go next. And underneath, me talks repairing the mind, body, spirit connection, some self-care. That's very interesting. And there's some interesting beings within each of these various bubbles. I don't know if you can see them, but they're otherworldly type beings. So there's some type of a way. And it's also like she's holding and blowing away one of the bubbles. I'm seeing a dandelion head that's old and gone to seed being blown, making a wish. We had that prayerful card over here, but being able to get into our shamanic or meditative, prayerful state while doing something else, such as self-care. And it's like being able to take the worldly concerns, like the cosmic forces are all depending upon us, and being able to wash it away, to repair. So whether you smudge with herbals, work with gemstones, or whatever else, some of that really earthly need to repair and detox and get back to health of mind, body, spirit is really coming in with this earthly guide, this pan type essence that wants us to delight in our sensual urges and sparks of interest, to follow that creative vibe. So let's look at this Atlantean individual here, this very stoic and put together individual. This one wanted to stay on the table. Oh, refusal of the call, dream thief. Very interesting card to come out here. So maybe we're being talked about our dependence upon logic and analysis, and perhaps even instead of understanding the channel, like I have all these cards out here, and then I looked up Delirium and it says everything that's on the table. It's like, why don't you just listen to the channel the first time? Why waste the time and ask somebody else to be the expert when you just channeled it? And sometimes we need those reminders. And it can also talk about how we can be really caught up in researching and the analysis of things, instead of just saying the way we feel. Like, I can tell when Mercury's retrograde. I can tell when something else is retrograde, because the planets are me. They're working through me. The elementals are working through me, right? And so I'm sure that you can feel some of these things as well. And also with that time and the cogs of the wheel here, it's like sometimes being too dependent on the clock. When I saw 22:22, knowing I only have 10 more minutes to talk. And it's like when we get caught up in we're late for a very important date, then are we really ever going to experience the rabbit hole and to be able to ponder and integrate the messages that appear? Or is it just going to be a passing dream that we forget in the morning? Journaling your dreams is also something coming in. And so dream thief, refusal of the call, clarifying this is sometimes like waking up with that super aggressive alarm clock or something that's triggering versus something that's soothing and awakening to, like, the sound of birds. I mean, should we have that luxury, it would be amazing. But there's some type of worldly concerns interfering with our ability to wake up pleasantly and get right into that vibe. And so there's a need to cleanse and clear and to set that sacred space, to set aside me-tox time so that we can allow ourselves to be guided towards this festival or meeting or community, and towards knowing when and where to listen to the call of what beckons. And so I split the deck. Oh, beautiful. I saw Eye of the Needle, intentionality, and look at this one, the Jaguar. That's my card of the shaman in this deck, but talk about all this feline energy keeps coming through on the cards. So we've got that mountain lion, cougar, and the Jaguar energy. It's like, being able to come out of hiding, if you will, and not continue to refuse the call, but then to set aside and balance out that time, balance out our chemistry to do the things we know we need to do, and to stop doing the things we know we need to discontinue. Not only for self, but for, enjoyment of the moment. anything else that wants to come out about this individual. He's teaching us about our limitations, and that if we're here to create something incredible, there's no time like the present. Are you going to put it off until you're 90 years old and perhaps don't have the capacity or the energetic urges or capacity in some type of a way? The time is always now to make that next best decision. So under the deck we have hollow bone, teachability. I know I preach on those basic levels, but it's because Spirit comes through me and does sometimes lecture that that's where it's at, the basics, the simplicity of just doing that next right thing. Okay, one more card for him. Stand still. Yeah, sacred space, and not being such a slave to the clock, but giving it the proper time and energy to come through that download moment, so that that celestial mind-blowing transition, that tower moment realization, that DNA activation can really take place and illuminate those aspects of self that and those celestial beings for the highest good that are looking to communicate with Earth and to be embodied here on Earth in a powerful way for the highest good. So let's take this last guy. I've been really interested to see what he has to say. This master of the oceans has this seahorse dragon energy. Are seahorses not like little dragons? Incredible. I never thought about it in that way. Yeah, he's got a very different type of sight. Like he can see through the murky waters. He can see through the veil of and the fog of the muddied waters. He doesn't necessarily have to wait for the water to settle. So he's somebody who's a very potent guide, I'm hearing, that wants us to be aware of the water, both without and within, and the health and well-being that starts and ends with that water element. It's where our psychic sensibilities and connection and bonding with other comes in. And so taking care of our hydration and not taking in those things that are harming the systems. And yes, what else? And look at the bottom. Eye of the eagle rising above the fray, and eye of the needle. Look at that. I like that. Talk about your eyes. We're being watched by loving eyes that know that we are doing our best in time and coming through the portal here, I'm hearing. Mindful groupthink. So he's also telling us to be aware of the information that we take in, because that's also nourishment. So if we're spending our time in front of the television watching reality shows or drama that really brings a lot of chaos energy and almost a distraction in so many ways, or are we watching romance that's romanticized nonsense versus reality? It can set us up for some amount of dissatisfaction and lack of gratitude with where we're at and what we're doing. On the bottom of the deck, eyes of the eagle. I'm going to take one more here. Lightning. Yes, the lightning bolt of Shiva, through the lightning bolt of the third eye of Shiva. This is perhaps an oceanic representation of Shiva, you know, blasting us with this realization of that change is within our hands. And I'm trying not to preach, but look at how illuminated this blue body is. It's like a blue light suspension chamber that's at one of the healing places nearby here. I think I might need to give that a shot, but there's like this sort of truth, and that, yeah, it's like I've got the two gemstones I didn't call out in this reading, but the Shiva Lingam as the masculine stone, and this Larimar egg as the feminine stone. I haven't done my feature on those yet. I may or may not today, but you know I brought them up a couple times. But we're gaining the key to using our time in the right way, shielding ourselves from things that don't need to affect us. I see musical notes, the carousel, taking time to play on the swing if you need to, or, oh, there's a cat and a hummingbird. I've never seen that. That's so special for me. Up here in the corner, hummingbird, if you're new to the channel, to me represents my mother who has past energy. So a motherly essence is coming in to help us and to get our attention, to show us where to go. And there's a cat up there kind of playing with the musical notes. So pets may be important for healing right now, taking time with the little things and to heal ourselves through music and to make the time and space to do such. Rising above the fray. Yeah, those that actually engage in this type of behavior, they can see beyond this realm. And he's granting us the eyes to see, this magnifying glass. Look at his eyes, and then look at the illumination here. It's like we're seeing through the third eye of Shiva here with his trident. Yeah. And weren't the Atlanteans, it was encapsulated and pushed under the water? And, or maybe I'm confusing Lemurian story or whatever. But anyways, I want to get into another couple of cards here. This is the Archetypes deck, and I'd like to get these for your own benefit to show us this depiction here where we're merging with all of these energies here and having our self-healing time. I've got this dandelion spore here on the table. Say a wish. Oh, it doesn't want to leave yet. But yeah, let's get these archetypes as what we need to look for. So we have the mountain coming up again. So taking our time to work through this, to activate the energies and to move through it. So we have first the siren, temptation and moving beyond the temptations of flesh, perhaps even. The comic showing up in reverse. Somebody who had perhaps dealt with a great amount of sadness and had covered it up through some type of adaptable persona or enjoyment or being accessible or available to others. Being able to be useful is its own excuse for belonging, because as long as we're useful, people won't reject or discard us. And the comic comes through as the one who wants to help everybody to feel good, but at the expense of authenticity and feeling loved and regarded for their depths. And so we've also got, so I'm holding these in reverse, but the forest, coming out of the forest, the starborn, I love it. So the forest has a lot for us. It talks about our primal roots, but we're running out of time. Starborn is having an awakening to who you are, the animal from the forest, and lastly, the ring. It's like the portal that we're making it through. It's like gaining